authorities are throwing the book at one son of a preacher man, accusing him of targeting Christian churchgoers with a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme. Alleged victims tell us he quoted the Bible and gained their trust, and then bilked them out of their entire life savings. And ABC's Steve Osunsami followed the money for tonight's Nightline Investigates.
Your life is about to change or shift.
On this morning, the pastor was Eddie Long, one of the most powerful black preachers in America.
Everything he says is based off of the Word of God.
4 years ago, he introduced his megachurch to this man, and lives did change.
Put your hands together and receive my friend, my brother, the great Ephren Taylor.
Ephren Taylor was a self-made millionaire and a preacher's son who spoke the language of the church. To these families, he was a financial wizard.
We're going to show you how to get wealth and use it for the building of his kingdom.
It was all part of what he called his wealth tour. But by the time he was done in Atlanta, many of these families were left broke and broken. Securities officials now believe they were victims of a giant Ponzi scheme that reached into churches across the country, from Eddie Long's in Atlanta to Joel Osteen's in Houston. And tonight, while he's alive and well on the internet,
Building wealth during these tough economic times can be a real challenge.
security officials say he is hiding out from them and from angry, mostly African-American Christians in at least 40 states.
He sounded like a godly person to you.
He did. I mean, he's quoted scriptures.
Lillian Wells says she met privately with Taylor after hearing him speak at church that morning in Atlanta. She says Taylor sold her on his socially conscious investment that she'd be giving back to her community.
And I was promised to get a 20% return on my money.
So in December of 2009, she moved $122,000, everything she had, out of her retirement account and into Taylor's investments.
There's one.
In return, he gave her these papers showing how he spent her entire life savings on a real estate venture called City Capital, which he claimed turned around homes in inner cities. But then he disappeared.
I couldn't get a hold of anybody, so then I started calling the 800 numbers. So you just can't get them.
She's now trying to save her home from foreclosure.
This is your retirement,
Yes,
and it's gone.
yes, yes. It's gone. Bad, isn't it?
Some of her cash may have been going to Gary and Anita Dorio in Texas. The Dorios invested $1.3 million, their life savings, and her mother's retirement. The Dorios thought they were investing in an inner-city laundromat, a juice bar, and a gas station.
Were you spending money on things that existed or that were imaginary?
Some existed and some didn't. Some were real and some weren't.
We went looking for the head office of the businesses Taylor listed, and we found it right here, in a post office box inside this mail store. Their lawyer, Kathy Lerman, says hundreds of investors have told her the same story.
You will hear from investors, I spent $100,000 on a laundry in Kansas. And then there'll be 10 or 15 other people who also spent $100,000 on a laundry in Kansas. And at the end of the day, they had nothing to show for it.
There is this music video starring Taylor's wife. The government says Taylor paid for it with the money that came pouring in.
He's a thief.
Lisa Conway worked for Taylor in 2010, selling yet another type of investment his company was pitching.
I would see things that weren't appropriate.
Like?
I had caught them trying to manipulate paperwork.
It sounds like you don't believe any of this stuff existed.
Because I know so much. We had folks that came.
Soon, she says, panicked families were banging down the doors of this office where she and Taylor worked.
After that one, they put locks on the doors.
There's got to be fear on his part that this is all coming down.
Yeah. You could see him sweating.
Come.
Back in Texas, the Dorios are facing foreclosure. And while they hold on to their faith, they've left Lakewood Church, where they first met Taylor.
You're blessed, prosperous, victorious.
That church is home to famous prosperity preacher Joel Osteen. Lakewood admits they opened their doors to Mr. Taylor to speak on the subject of biblical financial principles, but told us when he began to promote his services as a financial advisor, he was stopped from doing so.
A staff member did make the announcement, We're not endorsing this person. We're not telling you to invest with him. Also, too, you would expect that anyone that comes to the church, they would have researched him.
And when they told the church what happened,
It was at first, oh, Anita, how could you? Like,
How could you give the money?
like I should have known better.
Yeah, girl, yeah.
at New Birth in Atlanta, Lillian Wells says she didn't get much further.
What's the first thing the bishop said to you all?
Well, he came in and he said, basically, church ain't got no money.
Eddie Long claims that he and the church did nothing wrong,
Thank God for Ephren Taylor.
and in this video pleaded with Taylor to return the money.
Please do what's right.
Late today, as word of this report spread, we heard from a lawyer recently hired by Taylor who told us Taylor is not in hiding, but has stayed out of the spotlight because of concerns for his safety. And he said Taylor unequivocally denies that he looted investor proceeds to fund an extravagant lifestyle. Even so, families are suing him, and some are suing their pastors. And yet, surprisingly, many told us they forgive Taylor and put it in God's hands.
It's not the easiest thing to do, but we live by what the Word of God says, and we have to forgive Ephren, and we have come to a place where we've forgiven him.
How many of you want to get paid this morning? Somebody raise their hand, give God the praise if you want to get paid this morning.
For Nightline, I'm Steve Osunsami in Atlanta.